Hi guys, hello. How are you doing? It's raining here. It's been raining heavily, like heavily. Anyway, I was going to talk about something today, and I decided, well, why not? Let me do my first live, right? Since I haven't done a live before, so ignore all the noise. There's construction going on around me. My son is inside doing everything but taking advantage of the weather and sleeping. So I wanted to talk about the bully culture. Yep, there's a bully culture in our society, and I don't think that anyone is talking about it. There's a serious bullying culture, not just in Nigeria, everywhere. In fact, it is so bad that it is now the norm. It is normal teenage behavior. You see it in movies. And when you see it in movies, it is tagged normal teenage behavior. So it's more or less encourages the bully to go on because it is normal. Let me tell you a story. When I was growing up, and I grew up in a barracks, I grew up in Nigerian Navy Barracks, Ojo, in Lagos, Nigeria to be precise. And there was a man who was mentally unstable there in the barracks where we lived. His name, we used to call him typewriter. I think his real name was Johnson, but he was known to us, the children, as Johnson typewriter because he used to talk very fast. And so when children wanted to tease him, they would yell typo. And when you yell typo, typo would come after you with his stones, and he never used to miss. If typo stone you, know how he must meet you. If you go fetch water, your bucket will break. In fact, when typo was chasing us then, we would look for empty wells that had gone dry, and we would jump inside the well to hide from Johnson typewriter. But our parents never called it normal behavior for children. They used to correct us. They used to make us feel bad for saying Typo was a crazy guy. Hi to Adamazi and Agbala Onishegunla. Thanks for joining the live today. And really, if you have anything to say about this bully culture that has become almost normal, please drop it. Say something about it also. I'd like us to, interact. So, as I was saying, then there was nothing like normal child behavior when you bully someone. In fact, your family, your street family, your school teachers, everybody will have something to say about you bullying someone or bullying a child, a teacher, your classmates. There was always repercussion for bully. Right now, there's no repercussion for bullying anymore. A man who is mentally unstable, such as the guy I give as an example, that typo guy, a man who is mentally unstable and targeted by children. You might want to say, oh, na madman, make una no mind am, awiri. You understand? And because na madman, it would have been easy for our parents to let us have our way, tease him and do whatever we liked. And if he eventually injured someone, our parents would have now stood up and gone against him for injuring one of us after we bullied him. But that is not what they did. They always corrected us and they always told us that because he's a mentally unstable guy, did not give us the what's it called? The freedom or whatever it was to, insult him or tease him or to trigger him. It's triggered, everybody use these days. I'm triggered by this, I'm triggered by that. But nobody is talking about how these bullies have become kings of the world. I've noticed a pattern these days, and it is in all movies, even in short movies, like all these TikTok shorts movies that look like soap operas. There's always a major character that is bullying someone. Why is there bully in our faces? Why is it so much these days, even in the movies that we are watching? And I think it started with the little children's movies. And somehow, because the bullies in those movies didn't get the correct repercussion, children have now thought that bullying is a normal thing that they have to do at a certain age, right? So what we have now is, even in Darman studio short movies, there's always a bully in that movie or in that short film. In all these really short TikTok soap operas, you will find a major character that is bullying someone. And when it
UV.
is in
UV.
yeah, go.
V.
V. Okay. And when it is happening in little when it's happening in movies like children movies, the lesson that I am getting from those movies at first when bully starts in those movies is it is normal teenage behavior. Even when the child is being rude to their parents, you will hear it is normal teenage behaviors in those movies. And so children are growing up believing that someone has to be the bully. Everybody cannot be a good child. Some of us have to be bullies. Not like there were no bullies in our own time when we were growing up, but there were repercussions. There were repercussions a lot of the time. Now it is normal children's behavior. Someone will say, oh, they are being children. They are not being children. There are children who are bullying other children like them, and if are not corrected, will become adults who will bully other adults, will become a menace in society. And when you watch a lot of these short movies, and somehow I'm always getting into short movies, I'm always coming across one short movie or the other. A child is being bullied for being beautiful. A child is being bullied for being ugly. A child is being bullied for being book smart. A child is being bullied for having a learning disorder or not being able to learn like other children and, is considered dumb. A child is being bullied for being poor. A child is being bullied for being rich. A child is being bullied for being black. A child is being bullied for not being black. I've seen so many series or movies or whatever, and I'm wondering how come a child is being bullied for being smart? Make it make sense. How has bully gotten to the point that someone will now be bullied for being beautiful? Why? How have children gotten to a point where they hate themselves so much that they find everything to bully another person so that they can feel better about themselves? I remember that growing up, when you call someone horrible, the person will smile. The person will feel like, and myself, I don't chop body, I look good. And when you call someone lepa, the person also feels good for being lepa because that's what they want for themselves. Now, if you call somebody horrible, it is a problem. If you call someone lepa, it is a problem. How have we gotten to a point where we don't just bully other people, we bully ourselves too? Because when someone calls you horrible in a bid to, what's it called now, to admire your body, and then you take offense and you start to get angry and you start to feel like they've body shamed you. How did we get to that point? Is it that you don't like yourself? Is it that you're angry about how you are, how you look? What has happened to the point that every reason is a reason to bully someone else or to be bullied, to bully yourself, to feel bad about how you look? Everything is a reason now for someone to get angry. And I think we need to have these conversations among ourselves and try to understand how we got to this point, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense that children will beat other children who happen to be in the same class as them, tear their books, tear their uniform, do anything that they want to do to that child, and it will be considered, oh, normal children behavior. They are just being children. No, maybe they just fought. They will find every reason not to hold the bullies accountable. But then when the person being bullied reacts once, that person is suspended, that person is expelled. And what I think schools are missing is for that person to react in such a way that they now harm another person to the point where they get expelled or suspended. It is because the bully has gone on for such a long time and has been overlooked for such a long time that they now reacted. It haven't gotten worse. So being bullied, being made to drink toilet water, being made to do despicable things with nobody even coming to their aid. And then this ones that they decide to defend themselves or do something, they are tagged the child that has done this, the child that has done that, they're expelled, they're suspended, this one, and they come back and the bully continues. So what are schools not doing right? I'm not just speaking as someone who lives in society. I'm speaking as a mother to a child who's on the autism spectrum, right? Now, for children who have autism or other neurodiverse conditions, being bullied is even easier. It is very, very easy to bully a child who is on the autism spectrum, especially because they don't understand sarcasm and they don't even understand a lot of social cues. So it's easy to bully an autistic child without them even understanding. But they will feel that they are getting bullied and they will get depressed. So when we are seeing children get bullied to the point that they commit suicide sometimes, it's not just the fact that they are being bullied and nobody's doing anything. It's also the fact that probably they have another underlying neurodiverse condition or mental condition that nobody's aware about. And because bullying has now become such a normal thing in society, it is easy to target these people who are already fragile to the point that they now commit suicide. And we are not having the right conversations. We're not having the right conversations because I should not be chubby and be scared of going to school because they will laugh at me and call me horrible or tease me or and now make me hate my own body to the point that when someone else is now admiring me and calling me horrible, I hate it enough to want to pick up a fight with them because they called me horrible. I should not be skinny and like the way I look. But when I go out, they are bullying me for being skinny. But these same people that are bullying other people like their age group and all for being skinny, for being black, for being rich or poor or whatever they are bullying other children for, they idolize certain people in the same category. They idolize um pop stars that are beautiful, that are rich, that are black, that are whatever. So why is this bully even existing in the first place? In my opinion, there's also an underlying problem with the bullies that has not been addressed. Because the same way you want to bully a child like yourself for being a certain way should be the same reason you don't like someone else that look like that. Shouldn't be the same. It shouldn't be that you don't like a child for being a certain way that is like you, that is your age group, but then you can idolize a celebrity that looks exactly the same way. But then you have adults who will come online who love children that look exactly the way their own age group, who is an adult, looks, but doesn't like that adult who looks that same way and will bully that adult online for looking or being that way. There is an underlying problem that is prominent with bullies that has not been addressed. So I think schools should have not just counselors, but counselors who are professionals in mental health and in a lot of other aspects like psychology and mental health education and mental disabilities. Because mental health is one thing, oh, mental disability is another thing. And until we start to understand why the bullies think the way they think, in order for them to be so vicious and carry out some acts, except that child is a psychopath, a born psychopath, not the one that picked up psychopathy along the way and now enjoyed it. I'm talking about a psychopath. Except that child or adult is a psychopath, then there's an underlying reason that has turned them into these bullies that we know today. And I think parents also, we need to start focusing on our children's um day-to-day activities, like the way they used to do when we were smaller. I remember when we were younger, you cannot go to school and come back and your parents will not check your bag. These days, it's almost like parents believe that school will do everything. Just send the child to school. Let the child be at school. Let the child do this. Let the child do that at school. When they are done, they will come home. You ask them if they've done their assignments. They've done their assignment. That's fine. Everybody goes to bed. Life continues again tomorrow. Check your children's bags. Understand who their playmates are. Understand who the families of the children they are playing with are. In our time, we used to have friends that will now become family friends. And we used to have family friends that were friends, children of the friends of our fathers and our mothers. And so I think that helped a lot. But these days, and I think also with social media and everybody minding their business and gentle parenting, everything is going south, and somehow we think that it is right. It is not right. It is not right that your child comes back from school after bullying one or two children without your knowledge at all, and because you don't have a relationship with the teacher. Because you hear some parents say, "Hmm, anything they do at school, that is school, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be friends with any teacher, Jare. I cannot be giving any teacher money. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Let them have their time at school. When they come home, I will have my time with them." But when they come home, you still don't check their bags. You still don't understand how their day went. And so you don't get how destructive your child is when they leave the house. It's not like it was not like this before, but I think it has gotten worse, especially because, as I said before, bully is in their faces. There's bully in every movie that we watch. And in those movies, they are told that it is normal teenage behavior, even when they are being rude to adults. You are hearing it is normal teenage behavior. So if it is normal teenage behavior, that means they can do it. And their parents are just overreacting when they get angry. And that child is just, well, easy targets and just being a normal teenager. Bullying is part of being a teenager. It is not. It is not. And we have to start understanding why bullies behave the way they do. If we understand it from primary school, secondary school, and we're able to support them then in order to reorient them and erase that thing that has convinced them that bullying is normal, then we'll have a better society. Because trust me, some of those children are just seeking attention. Some of these bullies, they are just seeking attention because at home they are neglected. And so they are angry that this child who is from a rich family or a mommy's boy or a daddy's boy, that their family care for them, they are angry that they don't have that. Oh, you are beautiful. And they are angry that you are beautiful. They are not actually angry that that child, they are not actually bullying that child for being beautiful. They are bullying that child because where they come from, they are not made to feel beautiful even when they are beautiful. And so they see another child whose parents support them, appreciate their beauty, whose family dot on them, and then they get angry for not having that, and in return, they bully that person. There's a lot of underlying reason why a bully can be a bully, or else they are a born psychopath. And so I think schools need to invest actually in a professional mental health behavioral therapist, mental health professional, mental disability professional, because some children have mental disabilities that have not been diagnosed or that have not been sorted out. In fact, in this journey of autism, I have learned that some adults live well into their adulthood, like 40 years, before realizing that they are autistic. And that is because maybe accidentally they get a form of assessment. I have been around a lot of autistic adults, and I'm able to pick up and realize that this person is actually autistic because of the way they behave. But the people around there are just angry that they behave a certain way, that they do certain things. And those people don't realize that they do those things or they react that certain way because they are autistic. There's always a reason for things to happen. A child is not just a bully. That child is a bully because maybe the parents overindulged them, and that thing must have started from home. If your older child is doing certain things to your younger child and you're not even, your response to everything is, oh, don't you know he's your elder brother? Oh, don't you know she's your elder sister? No correction, no chastisation, nothing to tell that older child that what you are doing is wrong, so that you don't go out and do it to someone else. Then you've overindulged them and they think it's normal. Our TV time, please. Like, if you can even watch the movie before you allow your children to watch it and allow them to ask you questions. Not the one that they are watching certain cartoons, and not all cartoons, because it is cartoon is for children. Not all cartoons are for children. I keep saying it. American Dad is not a child's cartoon. The Simpsons is not a children's cartoon. Those are not cartoons for children, and many other cartoons. But because they are animated, everybody lets their children watch anything that is animated. Not everything that is animated is for children. And so you have to be really watchful, because children become bullies under the noses of their children, of their parents. And their parents sometimes have no clue that their children are bullies until they go outside. But if your child is showing you signs in the way that they treat their younger ones at home, then you need to be careful. Like, form relationships with your children's teachers, so that you can have an idea what they are doing outside the house. No be today children dey carry house cloth comot for house o. Dem go reach road, dem go change cloth, dem go go another place, dem no go go school. No be today e dey happen o. No be today dem dey bully children o. But the way it used to be responded to, the way our parents handle things, and the way we are handling things in this generation is different. And I think in a lot of ways, we might be spoiling things without realizing it. I'm not against gentle parenting, but I'm not a gentle parent. I'm not a gentle parent because, as gentle parenting works, if you get it right, gentle parenting works if you are doing it in such a way that your children can see you in your parenting. Not you being a gentle parent and your children are not even seeing, they will take advantage of you. They take advantage of the fact that you don't beat them. They take advantage of the fact that you don't raise your voice. They raise voice at me. They beat me. Me, I don't raise my voice as much, and I don't beat a child anyhow. No. I would say maybe because I grew up knowing that I do it once in a while. But once in a while, a very long while. And it must have gotten to the point where the child now realizes that for my mom to touch me, I have messed up. For that child to now be able to come and apologize on their own because they know that they've messed up. But in that gentle parenting that I let it slide for such a long time, the talk, oh my goodness, I will make you realize that because you have this does not mean you can do this. And it doesn't mean that I'm a perfect mother. No. It just means that we're now in, sorry for the noise, guys, constructions all around me. It just means that I've seen what our society, what we are doing to our children in this generation, and I don't think that a lot of us are doing the right things. But you see, on this conversation of bully, this culture of bully, the signs are in your home sometimes. So when they call you and say your child did something at school, before you go and fight the teacher for saying your child did this, oh, my child cannot do this. First of all, think back at some things and realize that my child has been showing signs. I didn't pay attention. There was a video recently of a 14-year-old boy in America who had tried to get the number of a 15-year-old girl, and the girl refused. So he picked her up, slammed her on the floor, and stomped on her head multiple times. And when it was happening, not only were his friends videoing, they were cheering him on. And when the mother got to the hospital, And in that video, you could hear her saying, "Oh, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. She has been bullying him for a long time." But that was not actually the story. The story was he had asked her out, asked to get her number. She had refused, and then he had done what he did. But the easiest way for her to defend her son was to say that that girl had been bullying the boy. If you see the size, if you see the difference in their sizes, the girl is so small, the guy is so huge. So I was wondering in my head, how exactly was she bullying this size of a guy? Except maybe she was being verbally abusive to the guy, or she was doing maybe using other people to carry out the act of bullying. But I don't think that it should have led to that point. But there was a miscommunication somewhere between the child and the parents, between the child and the school, between the school and the parents. If actually the girl had been bullying the guy, then there was a miscommunication along that line because it should have been sorted out. Bullies, we should not just see bullying in children as a normal thing. You guys, remember what happened in Benin, in that secondary school? You saw the videos. How did we get there? How did it get to a point where a boy your age group is beating you and another boy your age group is saying, "Baba, leave am now"? That child is being called a baba. What is that child going to be called when he gets into the university? How did that child get to the point where he became such a bully? Some people said in the video when his father came to pick him up, some comments were saying, "See the way the father is behaving, you will know that he got it from his father." That thing is another form of bullying. That's another form of cyberbullying. You're already insulting the father without even knowing him. But how did that boy become a bully? Did it start from home? Was he bullied and then he became a bully? Did he become a bully from the influence of the fact that everybody is saying bullying is normal child behavior? Does he have some form of mental disorder that has not been diagnosed? We really need to do a lot of awareness. There should be a lot of awareness around bullying and how bullying affects the society, because all we do is, oh, they bullied the child, everybody comes for them, everybody insults them, everybody say expel them, everybody, and then it ends there. We don't continue the work. We don't try to make sure that bullying does not continue. And I will say it again, schools need to invest in behavioral therapists in the school, in psychologists, in mental health um, specialists and mental disability specialists, because we are just sending our children off to school. Sometimes the people that leave our house look like our children. When they get to school, they don't behave like our children. And I hope that I've even made any sense at all from all I've been saying. This is my first live, guys. I might do another one. I don't know. But yeah, if you check my page, I recently released a set of flashcards for autism. It's called Autism for Kids, and it's a set of three flashcards. The first one is introducing autism to children. The second one is teaching them how autism affects the individual that has autism. And the third one is an interactive set that both neurotypical and neurodiverse children can use. And you can use those cards to learn emotions and learn how to use those cards to express their emotions, because I'm sure that some of us know that some children are not verbal. Some children who have autism don't speak. Some children who are even considered to be normal, which are neurotypical children, also don't speak. For one reason or the other, the machine um, that is supposed to lift the voice and bring it out is not receiving the signal from the brain. And so those children cannot voice out their thoughts, but they can use these cards to express how they feel. And also, in that third set of cards, there's an interactive game. Just it's three cards there where they can identify who's the child that is sad, or who's the child that is happy, or who's the child that is shy, like that. So please check them out. The cards are available on seller. And really, whether you have neurotypical children, that's children who are considered to be normal, or if you have neurodiverse children, that's children that have autism or any special needs, the card is useful for everybody, including teachers and parents and carers. You can use it to, in my opinion, teach children empathy. For example, if a child knows how the autistic child in their class, if they understand autism, they will understand how to support that child in their class who has autism instead of bullying the child. If they understand how noise affects that child, they will know that, okay, when there's a party at school, let me sit with this my friend and help them in case the noise becomes too much and they cannot, handle all that sensory information coming from that noise, and then they will know how to support the child. So I didn't make the flashcards with the intention of making money, no. And so when you check the flashcards and you see the amount that is attached to them, you realize that yes, it's just to make it accessible to people, not because I want to get rich from it. Because awareness is the most important thing when you're talking about neurodiverse conditions or mental disorders. So, thank you everyone for joining my life today. I hope that I can come on here and share more of my opinions and share more thoughts and talk about neurodiverse conditions from time to time. All right, bye, guys.